Miracles from Heaven is a 2016 American Christian drama film. It is based on Miracles from Heaven by Christy Beam, which recounts the true story of her young daughter who had a near-death experience and was later cured of an incurable disease. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Set in Burleson, Texas, between 2007 and 2012, the film centers on a little girl named Anna, daughter of Christy Beam. One day, Anna starts to vomit, and when is examined by her doctor, he doesn't find anything abnormal. One night, Anna wakes up her family at midnight because of an intense stomach pain, severe enough that her parents decide to take her to the hospital. Doctors find no signs of illness, except to say it could be either acid reflux or lactose intolerance. But Christy is not convinced by this and said, "I'm not living here until I know what's wrong with my daughter." The following morning, Christy finally finds a pediatrician in the hospital that is able to diagnose Anna with an abdominal obstruction, and he tells them he must operate immediately or she will die. After the emergency surgery is performed, the doctor explains that Anna has been left with intestinal pseudo-obstruction and she's unable to eat, so feeding tubes are needed for her nutrition. The doctor then tells the Beams about America's foremost pediatric gastroenterologist, Dr. Samuel Norco, who practices in Boston, but explains it could take months for them to be seen. In January 2009, Christy and Anna traveled to Boston despite not having an appointment with the doctor. Dr. Norco has a last-minute opening, and when Anna is subsequently examined at Boston Children's Hospital, the extent of her chronic illness is found. She then goes through extensive treatment. During this ordeal, Anna and her mother befriend a local Massachusetts resident named Angela, as well as Ben and his daughter Haley, who has cancer. On December 2011, Anna, along with her bigger sister Abby, climb up to a very high branch of an old cotton tree. While they are on that branch, it begins to break. Anna goes to the trunk for safety, whereupon, stepping on it, she falls in a hole to the base of the tree. When Christy finds out what has happened, she desperately calls her husband Kevin as well as the fire department. Anna is then rescued by the firefighters, who warn Christy to expect the worst by saying that nobody could fall 30 feet without sustaining a serious injury, broken bones, or paralysis. Once out, Anna is airlifted to a hospital where a battery of tests are run on her, and all of the tests come back negative. Other than a minor concussion, Anna is uninjured. Sometime after the fall, Anna seems to no longer to be affected by her illness. When Christy and Anna go to an appointment with Dr. Norco, he tells Christy that Anna is miraculously cured. Anna then recounts with her parents the experience she had during the fall. She describes how her soul left her body during the fall, and God promised that she would be cured of her illness upon her return to earth. At church, Christy shares the story of how God miraculously healed her daughter with his love. As Christy finishes her speech, one of the congregation protests, stating that he doesn't believe Christy. Ben, who has traveled from Boston, upon hearing the story about Anna, believes her and tells her that Haley died peacefully because Anna gave her faith when in the hospital, making Anna cry because Haley was a dear friend. In the end, the Beams spend some quality time together, and in the opening scene, Christy says to always believe in miracles.